I'm doing part one of the playbook, right? And so that is all about your personal preparation, right? So your personal preparation, and it starts with reviewing your daily goals. And reviewing your daily goals a lot of times starts with the night before, right? When you are just kind of making it clear what you're going to do the next day, right? That's what I do the night before. That's when, like right before bed, I kind of do a little bit of a brain dump of these are all the things I need to get done tomorrow, right? So I make my list of all the things I need to get done tomorrow. Actually, I was just doing that as she was talking. I was kind of like starting to think about like, okay, I need to do this, and these are the things I need to do before I want to get off this call to wrap up today, and then these are some of the things that are going to carry over into the next day, right? And it helped personally. The reason why I do it the night before is it helps me release these things so that I can go to sleep. Because otherwise I lay in bed and I'm just like, oh, I can't forget to do this. And they're these little pesky things, right? And so that helps tremendously. So then the next day when I wake up, I can review my daily goals, right? And so what are my daily goals? My daily goals are a lot of times they look like, when it comes to the business, it looks like, who do I need to follow up with, right? Who is somebody that I owe a phone call to? Who is somebody that maybe I had started a conversation with and I need to kind of circle back to see kind of where they're at, right? Just for example, earlier this week, I started a conversation with somebody who needed modular mates because they had a house fire, right? We kind of left the conversation at sort of, she was thinking about whether she wanted to sign up for a discount to get her modular mates or whether she wanted to place the order, turn it into a party, right? So I'm going to circle back to her tomorrow and see what she wants to do with that, where she landed with her decision, and then we'll go from there, right? And so it's things like that that you have to start, thinking about, especially since it's the end of the week, right? So you're thinking about like what loose ends do I need to tie up, right? And so you're reviewing your daily goals. Who do I need to follow up with? Whether it's, just business wise, or whether it's a party lead, a recruit lead, or even just an order, right? And then you also think about, then you review what you need to do for that day. And maybe that's when you prioritize it. All right, what are the hot things? What are things that I need to get done today? That's just like, maybe it's stuff that's kind of been pushed off all week, or like the last 3 days, it keeps like moving from this day to this day to this day, right? And so you're like, okay, today this has to get done, right? So you want to tackle those things first. And sometimes you want to tackle the easiest things first because they're easy checks off your list, right? So then you get momentum going, right? So sometimes you want to do some easy wins. And then sometimes you want to tackle the thing that is the last thing that you want to do on your list, right? It's something that you're just like, oh gosh, I don't want to do this. Gosh, this is going to be really difficult, or it's going to take a really long time. And that's why you've been pushing it off. Have you ever had something on your list that you're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's going to be a big pain in my butt. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Right. And then when you finally do it, it takes you like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And you're just like, why did I wait so long to do that? And it sat there hanging over my head for like a week. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was stupid. I should have just knocked that out earlier in the week and it would have just like made my life so much easier. Right. So sometimes it's something like that. So you're going to know how to prioritize your list when you look at it, right? Some days you're going to need some easy wins, right? Maybe the day before was just a tough day. So you're going into this day, you're like, I need momentum. I need some easy wins. Let me knock these 3 things off. You know what? And sometimes this is so crazy. Sometimes if I had a really bad day and I'm looking at my list for tomorrow, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start the day off winning by doing a couple things right here before bed so that I'm starting tomorrow's list already have done things, right? I've already checked things off before I even wake up in the morning. I'm like, winning, right? Like, I seriously, it's those little mental wins in games that you play with yourself. And it, like, I do that stuff all the time. And honestly, I swear, like, I learned those little small like games that you can play with yourself to motivate yourself. I totally learned that stuff from Pam. I remember calling her being so upset about stuff, and she'd be like, okay, stop. She's like, all right, from here, this is a new day right here, right now, this moment. We're starting a new day right here, right now. Like it's a brand new day, that's in the past, and she was really good at just like helping me realize like I can start a new day. I can tear the page and start a new day at any given moment, right? So when you're having a bad day or you had a bad day, tomorrow's a brand new day. So just put it behind you. You're good. You're good. Just go forward. It's all good, right? So it's so important to be able to like recognize that. And it's important to play these little games with yourself. And that's the next part is like setting these intentions for the day. It's so important to set your intentions for the day. And that used to sound really big and like ominous to me. It sounded like I needed to be this like meditation guru, right? And I needed to be able to like have this spiritual awakening, and I had to like, go to this like really enlightened space to be able to set my intentions for the day. But guys, it is not that deep, okay? All you really need to do is just think about what is it that you really want to get out of today. What does it look like, right? Do you want to have a positive day? Do you want to what is it that you want to get out of today? Do you want to date parties? Then set that intention to date parties. Do you want to get out of today? Do you want to end the day feeling like you accomplished so much? Then set out to accomplish so much and get these things knocked off your list, especially the things that are hanging over your head, right? Get that stuff done. Just get it out of the way, right? It was funny. I can't remember. I think it was this past weekend. I was laying in bed, and sometimes in the morning, I have a tendency to do meditations in the morning. I'm not very good at meditating. I've never been very good, but I promise you, I will be good. Someday I will definitely be very good. And that is something I'm not very good yet. Okay. So I should have made my word for this year yet. Okay. Because that is the newest thing. That's how I'm ending every sentence whenever I say, I'm not good at this yet. Okay. And I want you guys to all say the same thing. You're not good at this yet. Okay. So I'm not good at this yet. However, what I have been doing is a lot of guided meditations, right? And one of my favorite things to do sometimes is to just listen to affirmations in the morning, right? So I do sort of a mix of both, right? So this morning I was listening to affirmations, and it was funny because I didn't intend to listen to affirmations, but I accidentally was. And I almost stopped it. But then I was like, just let it go. I was listening to the affirmations. So I'm listening to them. And James comes around the corner, and I'm laying in bed listening to him. And I'm just like kind of just listening there quietly. And James comes around the corner. And just as he comes around the corner, the affirmation was something like, every day and every way, everything works out for me, right? Something like that. And he got this look on his face, and he was like, And he crawled into the bed and he laid back in the bed like this. And he just laid there. And he had this little smile on his face, this look of contentment. And he just laid there. And he listened to the whole rest of the affirmations. It was like maybe like, I don't know, 5 more minutes with with his hands behind his head. And he just laid there, and it was over. And it was like, okay, beautiful. Like the affirmation, this woman that does the affirmations for voice is so like dreamy. She's like, okay, open your beautiful eyes and enjoy your day, right? So she says this, and he was just like, and he slides down off the bed, and he goes, thank you so much for that. And he walked out of the room. It was the cutest thing. And I was just like, you're adorable. Like, it's just like, but seriously, that's like what it can do for you. And this is like straight out of an 11-year-old's mouth. Like, he's so genuine and so sweet. And that's truly what it can do for you. Like, when you just kind of like let go and lean into it. And that's what he did. We have so many things that we block ourselves from just leaning into something as simple as letting somebody just read affirmations to us and just letting us just like listen to it and accept it as a compliment, right? Accept that, right? And so setting your intentions can be as simple as listening to affirmations and being like, yes, I accept this. It is going to be a great day, and everything in every way is going to work out for me, right? So that can be as simple as setting your intentions for the day. Now, the last one is checking your emails and your messages. So, how many of you get a little overwhelmed by your emails and your messages? Yeah. Uh-huh. How many of you have like your phone dings and buzzes and does all of that when you get your messages and stuff? Mine used to. I silenced it, okay? Because it was overwhelming, right? But one of the things that you can do if it starts to overwhelm you and you're feeling in that space of overwhelm, you can set a timer on your phone for 2 to 3 times a day and give yourself permission to just check those 2 to 3 times a day, but you have to make sure you check them. You have to check them. You can't ignore them, okay? But you have to be sure to check them and check them like maybe at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and check those messages then, right? And it's important, like maybe it's messenger sometimes overwhelms me because there's so much going on there. And so I do sometimes I give myself permission when I'm really feeling really overwhelmed. I'm like, I need to let that go for today, and I'm just going to look at it at breakfast, and then right before lunch, and then right before dinner I'm going to look at it, and then maybe right before bed, just to check one more time to make sure there's nothing on fire that needs my attention right now. And give yourself permission to do that. And with your email too, there's nothing that's going to explode in there. Okay. I promise you. The most important people in your life, they know how to get a hold of you, right? They're going to get a hold of you. It's going to be okay. But give yourself permission to do that, from time to time when you're feeling really, really overwhelmed. Right. And so do that. And then the other thing is too, when it comes to your messages and your email, don't make that the very first thing you do when you open your eyes in the morning. When you're laying in bed, do not look at your messages. Don't make that be your first thing you do. If you are going to look at your phone as soon as you open your eyes, make it be something uplifting. Make it be, some sort of an app that is going to be something that's uplifting to you, whether it's some sort of a daily motivational type of an app or something like that, or something that you can read that is going to be uplifting to you. Or even you can go to YouTube and watch like a 10-minute or 5-minute motivational video and things like that. Do you guys remember Stanova? And he would say that he would allow himself, I think, 10 minutes. He would do a search for 10-minute motivational videos every day, and he would watch a 10-minute motivational video every day. But it was longer than 10 minutes, he wouldn't watch it or something like that. And he would watch it every day. And that's what he would do, to kind of get himself going, and absolutely that's great to do, but just try not to like dive right into messages, because I don't know about you, but I've definitely looked at something like that and somebody's panicked and sent me a message in the middle of the night. My heart starts racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to take care of this problem right away. And I'm still like half asleep, I can barely see, so yeah, so those are some things that are very important to like personally prepare yourself for your day. With your playbook, right? So that is play number one. So we just were going to go over that for this week. So back to you, Pam.